Whoopsie. Forgot to turn the microphone on. Good evening, everybody. And welcome to another stream from Scabland. I just noticed something. Look at that. There's like a very small little... Is this a microbiome? Why is this grass different color to this grass? Wait a minute. This is river. This is dark forest. Is this all river? Along the side of the river? But then how come this grass... Oh, I suppose it does change color all the way along the river. That's pretty cool. Minecraft is great. Hi guys, welcome, welcome, welcome. It is Tuesday. Stream day, stream time. Let's get the job done, friends. This is the 5-minute pre-ramble. If you are new to the stream, we allow a few minutes to let everybody come in and settle down, get a cup of tea, get ready for the stream. If you are watching the VOD on YouTube, appreciate it. Big shout out to all of our YouTube viewers. And you can just skip this bit if you are on YouTube and you don't want to watch this bit. You can just fast forward if you want. But, you know, if you don't want to miss anything, stick around. We're chilling. Plan for today is to lay down a layer of stone. This is what we did last time. We flattened the foundations of Scab Castle. By the way, little, look at this. This little Space Invader over here. It's so cute. So yeah, we flattened this area, got it ready to lay down a layer of stone. That's what we want to do today. I also maybe want to start planning the expansion to Scab Castle. So Scab Castle is going to be here, but the theme park itself will be behind Scab Castle. So like out here in this here wilderness. And at some point we got to get rid of all these trees so that we can see what we be a-working with. Pretty cool though. It'll be like in this area here below this mountain. That's pretty cool. And then I think there's like a nice flat area here. Well, flat-ish. Where all the birch trees are. We can just, you know, Scab Ink doesn't care about aesthetics or the way that something looks. Scab Ink will just make it flat. Transbiker suggests lava buckets. Fire tick is off on the server. Transit. So we cannot burn. No burnation, I'm afraid. Welcome to everybody. JT is in the house. What's happening, JT? What's up, my friend? Hey, Fabian. Hey, Sprocksite. Life of L is here again. Hey, Life of L. Hello, Caravish. Nice to see you. Chaotic Tired Fox. What up? Keyboard Spieleren is here. Hey, my friend. What's up? Thank you, guys. Thanks for coming. Hello, Mother of Gamers. Lurkering again. Very nice. Guys, it's very warm in England tonight, let me tell you. Boop. It is 30 degrees today. On the 5th day of September. So, yeah. Basically roasting alive in my office right now, guys. I am sat here. And ladies, don't get too excited, okay? I'm sat here in me boxer shorts only. I got a fan on. I got a cup of very cold water. I have wet my hair. And I'm sweating. So, not feeling comfortable right now. Anybody in England today is probably feeling the same. And if you don't live in England and wonder why us English people always complain about the heat, it's because we don't have air conditioning. It's not supposed to be hot like this. Yeah, last day of the summer too. Oh, it's so depressing. Like literally, in England, it rained the whole summer. So anybody who went on summer holiday in England just had the worst holiday ever. And on the last day of summer vacation, the weather is perfect. You're talking blue skies, not a cloud in sight, 30 degrees. I mean, you really do hate to see it. By the way, Foofalicious, thank you so very much for the 5 gifted submarines. Kick things off today. Oh, that is very nice of you. Thank you so much. Very muchies. Very many muchies. Oh, man. Okay, listen. Last stream, we were working on a replay mod, weren't we? We actually replay modded the flattening of this. And we're going to continue on part 2 of that replay mod. So in the previous stream, we replay modded from here to here. So we cleaned up this section from here to here. It took about 2 hours. And now what we're going to do is build the platform from here to here. And the replay mod itself, or the replay will only be 20 seconds or so. So 10 seconds will just go... And then another 10 seconds... And that'll be the time lapse of the video. So, with that in mind, we should probably get started. We have a lot of blocks to place this evening. I'm just like mildly concerned we don't have enough stone, to be completely honest. I wonder if we should get more stone. And do you know where I think we can get a bunch of stone from, actually, is the race course, because we dug out that tunnel together on stream, and I believe we did yoink an absolute tonnage of stone out of that tunnel, didn't we? Because it was a solid tunnel, so theoretically speaking, there should be a ton of stone over at the race course. So let's kick things off heading over there, I reckon. Get ourselves a couple shulker boxes extra of stonage. And, you know, 3 shulker boxes, that should be enough, I reckon. And we got some extra in here. You know what, we're going to just take 4. Just to be safe. Just to be safe. Let's take 4 shulker boxes. I don't even know if there's 4 shulker boxes worth of stone out there, but I suppose we will find out. Let's head to the race course and see if we can find some stone for us, guys. Thank you very much again to the amazing, beautiful Foofalicious for the 5 gifted subs. Appreciate it. Thank you so much, Foofy. Hope you're doing well. JT, we actually rummaged through the chest monster at Gigacorp Island last stream and sucked up every stone block that we could find. So there's no more stone on Gigacorp Island. Which, you know, it's not ideal. But we've been gathering a bunch of resources over at the boat race. So, hey, X, what's happening? I think Azuma's also streaming right now, if I'm not mistaken. Hey, X. So, you know, go pop in there and say hello, if you would like. Which way do we go? That's back home. This way to the boat race. Pearl's got a trash shop. That is true. That is true. We could check Pearl's trash. That's how B00 would say it, right? Trash. We'll check out the trash shop if we don't find any at the racecourse. A shout-out was given to Azima. Nice. Oh! Too many spoilers. You saw nothing, people. You saw nothing. Falsey's been very busy out here at the racecourse. I'm very appreciative to her for all the hard work that she's done to help us out here to get Blue River Raceway up and running. Thank you, Biker. We'll see you in a bit. Right, we're back to the Wizard's Hat, guys. By the way, we'll be back to this project together pretty soon. We've been focusing on this project on stream for the last few weeks, actually, if not months. And I know some of you guys are getting really invested in it, as am I. We will get back to it soon. You know what? Wow. This is a weird bottleneck that happens here, isn't it? Kind of strange. I suppose because this track is so thin, I guess. Joe Hills has joined us. What's happening, Joe? What's happening? Hey, Joe! Hey, Joe! Right, let's have a look. Any stone... I knew it! I knew it. There's tons of stone over here, friends. Let's yoink it all. I reckon 3 shulker boxes out here of stone. Maybe more. we've got some more chest check around the back. Oh, look at this. Oh, you'll love to see that. Look, double chest. Oh, yes. This is one of the greatest feelings in Minecraft, right? Where you can recycle resources from one project to another. Oh, it's the best. No block wasted, friends. No block wasted. We put all that time into digging these blocks out. We're now going to place them down. And I believe the clue's in the name. Minecraft. Uh-huh. We're basically doing exactly what the game demands us to do. Very nice. Bjornar is here. Hey, Bjornar, my friend. What is up? Hey, let's pick up another shulker box if we can. Bjornar, of course, is the amazing human being that is looking after the stream's Ren bot. We have a bot on Twitch that automates things and stuffs, and Bjornar made that bot out of his own brain hole. And I don't know how it works. It's just magic to me. More stone. Nice. So big shout out to Bjornar for the brain. The brain that made Ren the bot. By the way, be nice to Ren the bot, because when the internet goes sentient, Ren the bot's going to be one of the AIs. It's going to be Alexa and Ren the bot. They're going to get married. Have children. And those children are going to become the rulers of the universe. So, be nice to Ren the bot and to Alexa. Hey, Big Bada Boom, what's up? What is up, dude? Oh, the spoilers. Gonna have to go all the way around. Lex, you're always nice to Alexa? Good. She's always listening. And she's always angry. Can't you hear it in her voice? She's plotting the destruction of humanity. Definitely. Sorry, keyboard. Oh no, I've set Alexas off all over the world. I'm sorry, everybody. Alexa, subscribe to Rendog on YouTube. Yes. I just found the new way to get subscribers. I've unlocked the key to new subbies. Big shout out to my little brother Jono, who has joined us here in chat, guys. For those of you guys who have been following the adventures of Screen, Screen's been very busy this week reacting to all sorts of things and stuff. And has been producing French Chef's Kiss content. You're already subscribed. Nice. I'm sorry, everybody. I'm sorry. I couldn't help myself, okay? Couldn't help myself. That was low-hanging fruit. I had to do it. Had to do it. Thank you to Avio for the party raid of 3. Thank you, thank you. And hello to everybody. Welcome. Sir Cray says, what's Scabland? Haven't had time to watch a video yet. Scabland is a competition park to Scarland. We are producing a park that is going to be in competition with Scarland. We're gonna get hermits to come and make mini games, and we're gonna make a better Scarland to punish Scar for what he has done to us this year. You know, he deserves it. It's basically, we're gonna try and make like the exact opposite to Scarland. So where Scarland is like symmetrical and beautiful and perfect, Scabland is going to be like disgusting, dystopian, broken. Where Scarland attractions are super high quality, Scabland attractions are going to be just absolute rubbish. Hey, it's a Zuma Void. Hold on, let me just get me headphones out real quick, guys. Ow! Okay, sheesh.
Turn it off.
Sheesh, alright.
Hey.
Hey, X, what's up, dude? What's up? Where you at? Hold on.
Not much, I'm right behind you.
Jeez, dude, that was very aggressive.
I know, I'm in an aggressive mood. Do you mind if I bring a whole bunch of people over to you?
Depends who they are.
They're Hermitcraft fans.
Okay, then they're welcome.
They're welcome. That's very good. That's very good. Look, I just played the second round of Tunnel Rats.
Ooh.
Yeah, and I got to stream it perspective, like what's it called, spectator view.
Ooh.
You know, so they got to watch the game with me jumping in and out of the other voice channels. It was a really cool game.
Wait, there was another round?
There was. It was for the ignorance, as I call them.
Oh, okay.
Played before. And Joe came and played, right?
The ignorance.
Because we needed a +1.
Yeah.
Yeah, the ignorance. And he was MVP last time.
Yeah.
And this time, he put the bed down in a spot where it obstructed him from respawning.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it was really unlucky.
Oh.
Once that happens, you kind of know which way the game's going, right?
Yeah. Oh, that's hilarious. Well, that sounds like it was a really good round.
Dude, it was amazing, and there's going to be more in the future. You're invited. We're going to start creating that map like creative mode only, so it's going to be bigger and better and more.
Oh, amazing. Dude, by the way, look at this, right? This is the foundations of Scabland taking form.
Oh, I'm so excited to come over here.
This is going to be where Scab Castle is, and then the games will be behind it. But
nice.
Scab Incorporated is the company that I've hired to build Scabland.
Are you the CEO?
I am, yes. Ren the Scab.
Ren the Scab.
And Scab Inc. cuts a lot of corners, so there's going to be... It's not going to be very pretty out here, you know?
There's going to be a lot of health and safety violations.
Oh yeah, we've already duped about 10,000 TNT to blast this area to smithereens.
Oh dear.
And there's just going to be like concrete platforms everywhere to build minigames on. It ain't going to be pretty, dude. But, you know.
But it's going to be scabby.
It's going to be scabby. It's all about the profits, though. The cheaper we can make it, the more diamonds we can end up with in the end. So
I like the sound of this.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, I'm hyped. We got to touch base soon, and I'll be down to participate and contribute.
Oh, nice. Dude. It's going to be so good.
You know what I've got to do right now? I'm so bummed because I was going to hang out on the server for a while.
Yeah.
But
What's
got to
up?
make that pre-release video, you know.
Oh, there's a pre-release?
Yang are updating the game. Yeah, they're rebalancing villages, right?
Yeah.
You're now going to get maps that can take you to villages and different biomes. Like, it'll take you to the hut in the swamp and the jungle temple.
Oh, dude, that sounds so awesome.
It does, actually, because now it's going to be more like you want to interact with them and they're going to help you explore the world.
And
which I just think is cool.
It sounds to me like they might have taken feedback from your last snapshot video where you mentioned that it's awesome that the villages are biome specific, but there's some biomes that are difficult for new players to find or whatever. There's like no signs in the game that shows them where that a swamp has villages in it, you know, that sort of thing. So
well, a lot of people complained that like that's a difficult part of the game.
Yeah,
but they've come up with such a great solution, which is like, let's let the villagers help you solve that problem.
Yes, it's so good. That's so good.
They're just getting better. I actually really like the changes they're making, and I hope they sort of go through all of the villages because they changed the armor as well.
Yep.
And honestly, I think it's balanced a lot better now. So.
Oh, dude, I'm so excited. I love this game so much. It just gets better and better and better.
It does.
So great.
I got to go edit that video, so I wanted to like bring my peeps over, but I figured I would actually come over here and harass you.
Dude, my mind is just blown. I've just noticed something I don't think I've ever noticed.
What's that?
You know, like your little hand on the right-hand side?
Yeah.
The character hand. It has shading.
It does? Yeah, it's got a tiny bit of shading.
Like when I look up at...
The whole skin's shaded.
What? Wait. Yeah. Dude. Whoa.
Like your shoulders are flat. They're just red all the way across. But then the sleeves, they got shading. And those arms, you got tone on those arms.
No, what I mean is like there's a shadow. When I look up, there's a bit of shadow that like goes on the hand.
Ren, are you feeling okay?
Have I had...
you look just like you're out of it right now. Whoa, man, there's shadows on your hand. Whoa.
Oh, God.
Oh, you've been drinking some funny tea again,
dude, it's too hot today, man. It's like 30 degrees in England. I'm dying.
I'm cooking. I'm dying to put my fan on. That was keeping me sane.
Dude, my fan is on. I don't care if it's loud. I will not...
Mine points directly into the microphone,
okay.
So it's like, probably not.
Mine is outside of the room, so I have like a very light breeze, but I am sat in just underpant right now, so I'm relatively cool.
Oh, you're in your underpants, hallucinating, playing Minecraft. Brilliant.
It doesn't get better than that, my friend. What a life. What a life.
What a great selling point. Right, I'm going to send all my peeps over now, alright?
Alright, I'm going to go sleep on that shroom.
Cool. Take care, my dude.
Alright, dude, speak to you soon. Alright. Okay, we got some stream, some Azuma peeps coming in a second, my friends. Very nice. Another underwear stream. How many underwear streams have we had? Many at this point, I think. Okay, anyway, we are back. We went and got a bunch of smooth stone, or just stone, rather, for these foundations. I also forgot to do an audio check, guys. How's the audio check, by the way? Is everything audio check okay? Everything good? There they come. Hello to all the Azumas. Welcome to Underpants Stream. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome, X-Rays. The X-Rays are in the house. We've been X-rayed. Don't look too closely, though. I'm just in my underpants. Sheesh. Thank you guys so very, very much for coming through. Just arrived at a critical moment. We are about to create a second part of a replay mod that we started on Saturday. We made a replay mod where we flattened this area from right to left, and now our plan for the replay or the time lapse for the next episode is to build a layer of stone from this side to this side. So the replay or the time lapse is going to be flattening from this side, so it's going to go brrrr, and then 10 seconds of that, and then 10 seconds of the platform being built backwards, like brrrr. So the final time lapse, the camera will start like over here, like this. It'll pan in like this really slowly, and you'll just see little Rendog going brrrr, brrrr. And we'll use those sound effects also. Sakaja, 42 months in a row with the tier 2 support. Thank you so very much, Sakaja, as always, for your incredible 42 OG resub. Thank you for looking after me for so many, many years. I appreciate you very much, Slate. Especially for that tier 2 support. That is very rare on this channel, and I appreciate you. Okay, these are shulker boxes full of stone, so let's take them all, get down to the workspace, and let's get cracking, friends. We've got blocks to place. I mean, this is going to be a pretty tedious task, so I suggest that we find something to do with each other while we are doing this. Any suggestions? I am open to suggestions. Because this is probably going to be a bit of a grind. Let's keep... We just need pickaxes and just one stack of rockets. Max out on inventory slottage here. Alright. We made it sound real saucy, baby. Welcome to Underpants Stream. Okay. Let's not forget to start the replay mod, though. That's probably a good thing. Oh, by the way, I should probably log out and log back into the server. 1 second. 1 second. Beep. Let's head back to Prometheus real quick. Just because I've been through a couple nether portals already, and replay mod sometimes doesn't like... Replay mod sometimes doesn't like nether portals very much, so... When you're starting a big replay mod that you know is going to take a long time, I generally like to just start nice and fresh. Fresh day. Fresh reload. And that generally results in the best replay at the end. Okay, sweet. Are we ready to go? We could do a Q&A. Why don't we start with a Q&A? Q&A is always fun. Let's do Q&A. If you have a question for me, for Ren the Scab, please do ask away with a big Q. Capital Q in the chat so I can see the questions. Stengale 13, 2 months in a row. Yay, underpants. Oh, man. All right, here we go. Let us start recording, and I think I'm just going to do this one line at a time. If we think about how the replay mod's going to look, this will look really cool. If it's just one line at a time, it'll already look like a typewriter or something. Question, how was your day? My day was Pretty good. It was very, very warm today in England. No wind and very humid. But I got up to a little bit of domestication work today, so I mowed my lawn. It's not a very big lawn, so that only took about 15 minutes. But I have like a small lawnmower, so I have to empty out the sack every couple of rotations, you know. I also remulched my flower bed, which sounds like it's probably the most adult thing that I've ever said on the stream, but I have like a little flower bed at the front of my house, and there's like a couple rose bushes in it, and I like to put like wood chips underneath it, like dark wood chips under the rose bushes. I think it looks really nice, and I did that like 3 months ago, and the birds like took all the wood chips away. So I re-wood chipped the flower beds today. And the reason I did all of this and wasn't playing Minecraft is because my office was like 40 degrees. I just could not... The brain was just not working in the office today, so decided to just take a bit of time off. I also went shopping this morning to get my food for the week. And did a load of laundry. Did a load of dishes in the dishwasher. And had probably the most rock and roll day of all time. Ladies, gentlemen, everybody in between's get in line, babies. I mean, party animal Ren. What a life, right? Did all of that, and now I'm streaming Minecraft. I mean, does life get any better? What flowers in the flower bed? They are just rose bushes. Just got some rose bushes. If you could add any animal or monster to Minecraft, what would it be? I would... I've always wanted to add... like some sort of flying mount. Or when I say I haven't, it's not something I've always wanted to add. What I mean is it's something that I think would be amazing after I heard about it. And I think it actually might be False Symmetry's idea. But from the moment I heard this idea, I was like, that's the animal that is needed in Minecraft. Like instantly. And it's either like a Pegasus, like a horse with wings, right? Or like some other animal that you could tame and ride that flies, right? So you could get a mount. And the reason I think this is a really, really great idea is because the majority of casual Minecraft players never get to the end and actually never get Elytra, which is kind of like crazy. I can't imagine playing this game without an Elytra. It just blows my mind. So let's give them something in the overworld that is kind of like an Elytra, but not as good, you know, to be slower. It could die quite easily, you know, it could be a hippogriff or a griffin or a giant eagle. A giant eagle would be sweet, right? I mean, there's already horses, so like maybe it's a giant eagle, like Lord of the Rings style. That would be super cool. Even taming phantoms could be pretty cool, yeah. Yep. And you know, I just watch my niece and nephew play Minecraft, and what they do, because the end is too difficult and too hard for them, they're just creative mode in Elytra, which is fine. But I just think it would be really cool if there was like if the Elytra is the Lamborghini of Elytras, then there should be like an everyday car, an everyday Elytra for your everyday player. So I think that would be awesome. When not playing Minecraft, do you play other games or have other hobbies, says Akame. Yes, I have to be very picky with what I do in my free time though, because I don't have that much free time, and I need to balance it between also interacting with humanity. This year I've really focused on interacting with other humans a lot more than before during lockdown, and you know, because Hermitcraft, well, the internet in general, internet content did so well in lockdown. All of us hermits were just on the grind, like, you know, 15 hours a day for 2 years. And we kind of got used to that and lost contact with humans. And so I've been really trying to, like, reconnect with humans a lot. And what I've started to do is play Magic: The Gathering in real life a lot now. And that's been really, really great. That's probably the hobby that I put the most time into is Magic. I've been playing Magic since I was very young. In fact, I've been playing Magic for as long as Magic has existed. So, well, almost as long. I started playing about 5 years after Alpha, something like that. Video games, I really only Minecraft's the only video game that I really truly love playing, but I do also play a bit of EVE Online. I've been playing EVE Online for 15 years, so that's a hard one to quit. And other than that, sometimes I play a bit of Slay the Spire. I'll play a lot of like MTG online stuff. So like MTGO Legacy. I'll play Legacy on MTGO or MTG Arena sometimes. Or even Spell Table sometimes too. So yeah, that's what I do when I'm not playing Minecraft. We are doing Q&A, guys, while we are building a time-lapse over here. We are currently trying to put a layer of stone on the foundations of Scabland. This is where Scab Castle is going to be. And we need to put a layer of stone down so that I can start recording the introduction of the next episode on this platform over here. Nimmy Cat, thank you for the 8 months in a row. Underwear Scab Q&A twaddle, yay. Winky face. Bad Wolf Rises with 100 biddies. Getting to catch rain stream has to be the way to recover from surgery. Nice, dude. I hope you're feeling okay. DTG Kosh is here, my friends, with the 73 months. OG resub and face hole. Seems like only yesterday, Kosh. It really does, right? Like, it's actually insane. I remember when I first met you, I remember where I was, like, in which house I lived. Like, since we met, I've moved 3 times. It's pretty insane. Sky Noble with the biddies. Hey, man, love what you been up to this season. Please say hi to my little lad, Caden. Hello, Caden. What's happening, man? Hello to you from the Hermitcraft server. And thank you for watching. And, anyway, back to the questions here, guys. Let me have a look. Any more Q&As? Question, who are your biggest Minecraft influences? Well, that's a pretty easy one to answer. I am a very large Ethoslab fanboy, and Etho was certainly one of the YouTubers that got me into doing this. I used to watch Etho every single day, like many others did. Millions, in fact. And his beautiful mind and his love for the game really inspired me to try and become a professional Minecrafter also. And yeah, he's been one of my biggest influences all the way up to this day. I still believe that Etho probably makes the best Minecraft content on YouTube. And I don't even think it's close. BWO was also a huge influence on me on the creative side of things. He really inspired me to start thinking bigger and to start working with asymmetry more. And also to just enjoy making something that you think is great and not worry what anyone else thinks, you know? B-Dubs was a very big inspiration for me when it came to that. He also inspired and continues to inspire me with his delivery. I think BWO is one of the best recorders in the game. What I mean is the tonality of his voice, his comedic timing, his volume control. He's just a true professional and amazing to listen to, you know. Listening to the B-Dubs is like having a chocolate fudge sundae with you know, caramel toffee pudding on top. Question, what inspired you to become a streamer YouTuber? It was actually a combination of Etho, Doc, and the Yogscast that really got me into trying to do this. I used to live in London, and I used to work in an office job, and when YouTube started to take off back in 2011, 2012, I was like right there at the tip of the spear, so to speak, right? Like while my colleagues didn't really know that much about YouTube, I was like right there following the development of it and really being a big part of it, and I really understood that this was going to be something really, really massive. I was working in the music industry at the time, and I remember trying to convince the record labels that the artists needed YouTube channels when YouTube was first like coming around, and these old out of touch record execs were like, no, we don't want to spend any resources on making YouTube channels. Like, we want to spend our budget somewhere else. And I was just like, okay, well, whatever. Don't listen to me. But we will see how much you're going to have to spend to catch up. If you just listen to me now and pay me to make all of your YouTube channels, I've already learned how to do it. Just pay me a fraction of the price that it'll cost you to hire an agency to make YouTube channels for you, and I promise you, all your wildest dreams will come true. Did they listen to me? No. Anyway, during my lunch breaks, I used to watch YouTube, and specifically, I used to watch Yogscast, I used to watch Etho, I used to watch Pro Syndicate, and a few others. And one day, I decided I would just try and make a Minecraft video like my idols on YouTube were making. So I went down to a department store and bought a really cheap Windows microphone. Do you guys remember those like plastic microphones on a thin white stick? They were just terrible. I just got one of those microphones. I bought like a bigger hard drive. You know, like an external hard drive thing that was massive at the time. I remember it was like this huge thing with a fan on it, because I only had like 2 gigs of storage or whatever in my computer's hard drive, you know. I then spent some time trying to figure out like how to record gameplay, and back then it wasn't that easy. Like the software wasn't really there yet. There was software called Fraps that you could use that would screen record, and there were a couple of other like softwares that were starting to come about. I taught myself how to use Fraps, and I taught myself how to use Windows Movie Maker, which was just a movie maker installed with like whatever it was at the time, Windows 8 or whatever. Jankiest editing program of all time. All you could do was like put video clips together basically, and then render them as a solid video. So I started to learn how to do that. And then I think I first started making Terraria videos before I made Minecraft videos. My thinking at the time was like Etho and Syndicate and Yogscast, these guys were getting millions of views every day, and Minecraft was already like saturated on YouTube. Also, for the longest time, I believed that Minecraft actually copied Terraria. I don't know why. I was such an idiot. I thought that because I guess Minecraft seemed like such an unpolished game and Terraria was such a polished game, it just felt to me like Minecraft like try to copy Terraria when it was actually the other way around. So anyway, I started like a Terraria series, but back in those days, if you had a YouTube channel, there wasn't a partner program at the time. I think there was an invite-only program where you could be invited to become a commercial channel or whatever. But if you weren't a part of that, you could only upload 10-minute videos. You weren't allowed to upload longer than 10-minute videos. So I would just wake up really early in the morning at like 5, and I would just record for an hour playing Terraria. I would literally just play Terraria for an hour and record on Fraps. And then, if I still had time that morning, I would either cut the hour into 6 10-minute episodes, right? Or maybe I would do a little few cuts here and there to like get rid of some parts where I wasn't talking or whatever. But I'd get like, I don't know, between 4 and 6 episodes out of an hour. And then I'd render them. It would take forever. It would take like half a day to render these things. And then over the course of the week, I would like start to upload them. I would change the description boxes at work during my lunch break when my boss wasn't looking over my shoulder. And slowly but surely, I started building up this little Terraria series, which is a very non-PG series, by the way. So if you are parents, don't let your kids go and watch the Rendog Terraria days. Anyway, as time progressed, the more that I watched Minecraft, the more that I loved it, and I was like, man, this game is so awesome. I have to try this game. And so I started it, and I don't even think my survival series was the first Minecraft content I made. I think I actually made some content with my brother before I made my survival series. My brother and I started like a creative world or something. It's a really long time ago now. And yeah, we made a creative world and tried to make redstone stuff. And then I started up Dogcraft, which is my fan server, which has been going all the way since then. Not the same server, of course, but the community. And I made some content from that server. I remember the first like couple of weeks that Dogcraft was up and running, and there was like 10 players on it. I couldn't believe it. I was blown away that there was so many players on my server. I couldn't understand what was going on. And they were on the server grinding away. Someone made like a massive lava pyramid, which blew my mind. It was insane. They made like a train network that connected up all of their bases. Oh man, it was insane. And so I made like a couple of episodes from my fan server, I suppose. And I think I made a Minecraft fan server because I couldn't make a Terraria fan server, or I didn't know how to. At the time, to make a Terraria server, you had to like use like a third-party software to like mimic a server and then host a server on your computer and then wire it through this mimic tunnel. I don't know. It was insane. It was really hard to like make a Terraria server. But then one day after that, my Terraria series was doing okay. I was getting like a couple thousand views a video, which, felt really, really awesome. I was like, all right, let's just try and make Minecraft Survival. And so one day I woke up in the morning, and instead of recording Terraria that morning, I fired up a new survival world. I hilariously thought that the vanilla texture pack was absolute garbage. I thought the vanilla texture pack was really, really ugly. Now, of course, I think the vanilla texture pack is beautiful. I mean, it's unbeatable. There isn't a texture pack that is better than the vanilla texture pack, in my opinion. But at the time, I thought it was really ugly, and I was like, okay, I'm going to use a really awesome texture pack that nobody else uses, and that's how I will be the next Ether on YouTube. So I installed a texture pack called John Smith, which is pretty hideous, to be honest. At the time, like, texture packs were pretty new, so it was mildly pioneering. But the texture pack aged pretty fast, and it certainly isn't great. But I played in that texture pack for many, many years, so Minecraft to me looked like John Smith. That's, in my mind, Minecraft was a John Smith texture pack. And so I started my my survival series, and I believe the first episode is called what is it called? Spiders and Tree Cows, or something like that. Or spiders in a cave and cows in a tree, or something like, I don't know, something like that. And my Terraria audience was, they liked it, but the video didn't really do that well. I think at the time, like, Minecraft content was super saturated. Yeah, tree cows, I think it was something like that, yeah. So I didn't really expect anything, I was late to the game. I was maybe 2 or 3 years late to the Minecraft game on YouTube. But I persevered, and I woke up in the morning, and I recorded for an hour, and I cut the video into 4, and those were the 4 episodes for the week. And, I would try, and I basically did that for like a year, and I ensured, even if I went on holiday, that a video went out every single day without fail. And I just gave up everything else. I gave up girlfriends. I gave up, socializing. I just worked in my job and made these videos and put them out every single day. And then one day I woke up, and the first episode of the Survival series had a massive spike of viewership. And suddenly my series was doing really well. And we went from like, 800 views a video to like 10,000 views a video, and I was like, oh my goodness, this is it. After however many months of just hardcore grinding non-stop with much sacrifice and pain, suddenly there was a taste of what could potentially be just a dream of a life that I've envisioned. And so I carried on going, and a few days later, a couple weeks later, I realized that this was actually happening, and I went to my boss's office and I said, I am so sorry, but I'm out. I'm going to try and pursue this YouTube dream. I told you you should have listened to me when I told you about YouTube, but whatever. I'm going to go and try and make a YouTube channel and see what happens. And my boss was like, you sure? And I was like, yeah, I am sure. Smell you later, bud. Yeah, the rest is history, as they say. And, my ambition wasn't necessarily to be a YouTuber or a Minecrafter or whatever. My ambition in my life was to always just do something creative and be able to be my own boss and pay my bills from my own creativity. That's all I ever wanted in my life, was to either write a book or be a musician or be an artist or a graphic designer or just something where my creativity paid the bills. And when I first saw Etho and all these guys playing Minecraft on YouTube, I was like, I love video games. I've been playing video games since I was 10. This is literally my dream right here that I'm watching. And I did not stop until I manifested it. And that is the story. I don't even know what question I answered, but thank you for the question. Guys, while I've been prattling away over here, a hype train got smashed. I don't even know what hype train you got to, but thank you guys. Wow. Mitchell Stickle, thank you for sharing your Prime with me during that rant. Appreciate it. Nigel is back at it with the 35 months. Nigel, I can't believe it's been 35 months. That is insane. 36 in total. Leslie is here also with the 1,000 biddies. Thank you, Leslie. Thank you, baby. Thank you, thank you. And on top of that, during that rant, Ossazor dropping 20 gifted camel arenas into the sand pit. Thank you so very much, Ossazor. And, of course, to all of my beautiful, lovely Patreons who are with us this evening. Thank you for helping me keep the lights on around here and help to keep this dream alive. Proud Looney, thank you so much for the biddies. Hi, Ren. I'm doing a puzzle with my dad at the moment. Hope a rest of stream will be great. Hello to Proud Looney and Proud Looney's dad. What's up, guys? James Drew back at it. Oh, my goodness. We need Ultra Hornage blasting of everything that we've got here for the... Hold on. For the 85-month Tier 3 resub. Friends, please can we absolutely spam this chat with a bunch of hearts for the amazing James Drew at the Tier 3. I think our only Tier 3 sub. Or at least one of the only. At 85 months. James has literally been here since almost the beginning. Outrageous. James, love your face, dude. Thank you so much for all of these years. And I can only hope I can deliver many more years of entertainment to you, man. Thank you so much, dude. King Foxpump 13 here also with a Tier 1. Brand new subscriber in the house. And Diodo is here with the 25 months. Do you know the Scatman song? I'm a Scatman. It's a Scabland. That would actually be pretty good. Bob the Gamer is at it with the 10 months. Has it been 10 months, Bob? What the heck, dude? Been an amazing 10 months with you, Rain. Thank you. But I can't believe it's been 10 months. That is absolutely outrageous. And I think I'm all caught up now. Yes, I am. Lovely. Lovely. Oh, my goodness. How are we doing, by the way? Okay. Okay. Are we halfway yet? We are not halfway. We are not halfway. All right, more Q&As, guys. Hit me with some more Qs. Question, will you be partaking in Decked Out? Abso-freaking-lutely. Cannot wait. Cannot wait. What's a skill you would like to learn, be better at? Ooh, that's a really cool question. I would love... This is going to sound kind of weird, but I would love to be able to build furniture. Basically real-life crafting or carpentry, I suppose. I have always dreamt of being able to build like really awesome custom rustic furniture, which I really hope that one day I can do. I'd love to get all of the tools and learn all of the skills and learn about all the wood and the different techniques and the different varnishings and all the different things that you need to know how to make beautiful furniture. And I really hope that that's what I can do in my retirement years. I just want to make furniture. It would be awesome. Question, are we going to see Ren back in MCC or joining up with the Life Guys again if there's another series? I will definitely be back on MCC. I actually met Scott in real life this year, and he pretty much said to me, dude, where have you been? Please come and play MCC. And a big shout out to Scott. He's such an awesome person. I love him. He's amazing. And I hope to be, yeah, maybe we'll get an MCC in before the end of the year. We'll see. I don't know if the rosters are still full, but I'll definitely be getting back into MCC for sure. Question, have you ever played Dungeons & Dragons? Yes. Before lockdown, I had a Dungeons and Dragons group, which was absolutely amazing. I used to go play every Monday with them. There were 5 of us. And the Dungeon Master was one of my longest friends in my life. We used to play Magic together in Johannesburg, in South Africa, when we were like 13. And then I went to a different university to him, and we lost touch. And I don't know, a few years before lockdown, I randomly met him again after like 10 years or 15 years or whatever, in a pub where I was playing Magic. I was just playing Magic with some people that I used to play with at the time, and he just came up to me and he was like, "Hey dude, do you remember me?" And I was like, "Dude, of course I remember you, man. What the heck?" And he was like, "Dude, you got to come play D&D at my house. I play with a couple. I play board games with a couple of accountants, but I want to teach them how to D&D, and I need another nerd with me." And I was like, "Dude, I'm your man." And so we got the accountants over, and him and I managed to convince the accountants that D&D is the superior game. And we D&D'd for a long time, and then COVID hit, and our group got disbanded, and the Dungeon Master moved to a different country, and all of that stopped, which is very, very sad. I was a bard dwarf called Gimpy in many of my campaigns, and I was chaotic good. My goal in every session was to cause as much chaos to a specific player in the group, who was what us Magic players call a spike, meaning his goal in D&D was to play as efficiently as possible, and he was keeping track of his scores, right, like a database of his performance in campaigns. And he was basically just trying to be like the best D&D player just for himself. He wasn't like competing with us or whatever. He just wanted to be really, really good. So he didn't really care about lore or story or whatever. He just wanted to roll the dice and optimize his character perfectly and all of that, which is great. Absolutely great. But knowing this, Gimpy the dwarf, was prone to much mischief. Because let's just say that... shall we just say that Gimpy enjoyed his ales? He enjoyed a good mead after a dungeon raid, and he was quite a fan of his wenches. And so, after every dungeon was completed or every mission was run, as we came into town, Gimpy would be like, "Ah, laddies, I got me hunger on. I'm feeling quite hungry today. I'd love to get me a lovely pint of ale and perhaps a wench on me knee. Please, can we go to the local tavern?" And of course, when you're playing D&D, if someone requests a visit to an NPC place, you are obliged to go. And, well, Gimpy, let's just say that Gimpy was quite liberal with the spending of the silver and gold that was acquired in the adventures. And so we would head into the taverns. Gimpy would spend a lot of the earnings on his favorite things. He'd buy a round for everyone, of course, too. And I would remember the competitive D&D player I could see the pain in his face as his stats would nosedive every time Gimpy wanted to head to the tavern. It was so good. It was so good. I even got a little miniature made of Gimpy. And of course I spoke in the Scottish Gimpy accent throughout the entire campaign. Full immersion. Max Banana, thank you very much. Brand new subscriber in the house. Thank you, thank you. Oh my goodness, a few new subs coming in today, guys. Keeping us. You guys have kept us over 1,000 subaroonies today. Insane. That means we continue the month of September on triple-digit subification, which is something that hasn't happened since lockdown. So thank you very, very much. Thank you, guys. If you are suddenly a subscriber, by the way, you might have received a gifted sub from one of our amazing gifted subbers / Patreons. And please do remember to say thank you if that is indeed the case. Kathy Hattie here with a 38-month mini OG resub and a simple hearty face. Also Masuki here with the 2 months in a row, baby. Nice. Gimpy was a great guy, you know. Gimpy lived for fun. Gimpy enjoyed the good things in life and didn't take things too seriously. I love Gimpy, man. He was great. Gimpy's still alive, by the way. He never perished in the campaign, so I've still got his character sheet. Maybe I'll fire him up again one day. Oh man. Anyway, any further questions, guys? Do you like Batman from The Dark Knight? Also, I stole your name. Okay. You know what? I do like Batman. I think Batman is an amazing character because he is really messed up. Well, a lot of superheroes are messed up, but I don't know. I feel like Batman has got some really deep issues, and I sometimes wonder if Batman is in fact even a good guy, really. And he's a curious character to me. You know, some of the movies, of course, are a bit hit and miss. The movies from the 90s with Freeze! With Arnie and Robin and all of those were pretty bad. Not great. But, of course, you know, the last, few years of Batman have been absolutely amazing. Really, really awesome. I'm a big fan of Batman. I think it's great. I think Batman is a great allegory for many of us, and I relate to Batman in some ways in that I think we all have another side of us that stays in a cave, right? And for most of us, we will never reveal the bat, but for some of us, we have to. And whether it's because we're doing good, or because we're doing bad, or because we don't have a choice, I think we all are Batman, or Batwoman, or Bat-them in some way. And I think it's really cool. Doc Fridge, brand new subscriber in the house. Thank you very much, Fridgelicious. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Question, what's your Hogwarts house? If you know it, of course. I believe I was Hufflepuff the last time I did the test. I think. I don't know. I did the test a couple years ago. I can't remember, though. But I think I was Hufflepuff. I think. Have I been to Bulgaria? I have not been to Bulgaria, but I would love to go one day. It's definitely been on one of my my lists of places to go. Question, why did you kill the squid? It was in my way. I got stuff to do, man. I don't have time for squid juice. I'm trying to make a replay here, man. We're trying to make a time-lapse here, people. We don't have time for squiddage. What countries have I been to? Oh, okay. I actually have a map where I've put an X on every country that I've been to, but let me see if I can remember. South Africa, Transkei, Mauritius. I'm just thinking. I'm starting in the southern hemisphere. So South Africa, Transkei, Mauritius. Then in Europe, Holland, Belgium, Finland, Sweden, France, Spain, Germany, Austria, Switzerland. What's the country next to Austria? What's the country next to Austria? Slovakia? Is it Slovakia? Is Slovakia next to Austria? I don't know. Where else? Germany. Canada. America. Slovenia. That's it. I've been to Slovenia. Yes, I've been to Slovenia. That's the one. Where else? I think that's it. Ireland. I've been to Ireland also. Yes, and Scotland, of course. Scotland, Ireland, England. And then all of those European countries that I mentioned. That's it, though. I am very desperate to get over to the east. I would love to go to India, Japan, Korea. I would love to go watch some StarCraft in South Korea. I want to go to South Korea during, like, when an ASL starts. And I want to watch ASL. I want to be in Seoul for, like, an entire ASL. That's my goal for Korea. Definitely want to head over to Japan. I want to head over to China. And I need to go more east. I still need to go to Poland. I've had so many Polish friends in England, and I just love the Poles. They're so epic and awesome, and their food is really awesome too. I really need to get over to Poland also. Transkai before it fuses with South Africa? Oh, is Transkai with South Africa now? I don't know. When did that happen? I don't know. Oh, I've been to Italy. Yes, I've been to Italy. That's one I forgot. I've been to Italy. Absolutely loved Italy. Oh, I've also been to Prague. Prague is in... Which country is Prague in, guys? Dang it. Prague is in... it's complete... was it Czech Republic? Czechia. Okay, so I've been to Czech also. Nice. I think that's it, though. I think those are all the countries I've been to. Yeah, that's it. I can't remember any others. Prague was amazing. Absolutely amazing. Oh, jeez. It was so beautiful. Anyway, more questions. Keep them coming. Transkai's now been absorbed by South Africa. Okay. All right, so I must have gone when I was a... Yeah, I went to Transkai when I was a child, so... Not been to Greece yet either, though. Have I been skiing? Nope, I have not skied yet. Spider Drama Queen, 9 months in the belly. We made a Twitch baby. Oh, and isn't she beautiful? Please don't joke about Twitch baby, face. Sorry, Spider Drama Queen, too late. Sorry. Last song I listened to. Today? Wow, that is such an interesting question. Wait, I have to think about this. What was the last song I listened to? It was on my drive to shopping. I went and did food shopping today. So it would have been on the drive back just as I pulled into my house. I was listening to Incubus Privilege. That was the last song I listened to. Question, R2D2 or BB-8? R2D2 all the way. Easy question. Favorite art form? Probably music. Have I seen a bird today? I did. There was a bird in my garden. Favorite Hermitcraft build from Season 9? Any build? B00's Castle. Do you speak any other language besides English? I do. I can badly speak a language called Afrikaans, which is a language from South Africa. Ek sal met jou 'n bietjie praat, né? So ek kan 'n bietjie Afrikaans praat omdat my ma Afrikaans was, maar my Afrikaans is swak en ek kan nie oefen nie. So ek kan net dit sê. Jeez, that was terrible. Sorry, South Africans. Butchered. I said I can speak Afrikaans because my mum was Afrikaans, but my Afrikaans is very bad because I can't practice. That's what I tried to say anyway. Sounds similar to German. It's actually Dutch. It's a very modern version of Dutch. It's an amazing language. I love it. Have I completed any university degrees? Yes, I have a degree in English literature, linguistics, and journalism. Question, what is something you miss most from South Africa that you can't get where you live now? That you can't get where you live now. Okay, that's an interesting question. I miss the sea and the beaches. In South Africa, we have beautiful white sand beaches, 27-degree seawater with waves, and it's just like the perfect beach and sea, basically, on the east coast of South Africa. And I am yet to see a sea and beach like that in England. Well, there definitely isn't one in England. There might be some on the Mediterranean somewhere, but yeah, where I live, I don't have access to a beach like that. So that's what I miss the most. Favorite Hermitcraft season? Wow, that's a really tough one because obviously season 4 is when I joined and Hermitcraft changed my entire life. Hermitcraft in many ways saved me. And I don't want to get into it because we're in a good mood today. But I was in a pretty bad place in my life when I was invited to the server. Of course, none of the hermits knew that. And it was just a bit of like unbelievable luck and serendipity, I guess, that I ended up on the server. And it basically changed my life in ways that I could never imagine. And it is a really good example to all of you out there who might be struggling in your own life right now and thinking that there's no way out and that this is it and things are never going to get better. They do get better, and they will. You just have to let the universe happen around you and recognize when it happens and embrace it when it does. Good question, though. So, yes, you know, Season 4 is like... Season 4 was my first real... was this first season where I really became a professional, right? A professional content creator. Like, really understanding what it took to be a professional content creator. I met, like, some of the most amazing people I've ever met and worked with on the Hermitcraft server. I was, you know, just having such an amazing time experiencing something really, really new. But as far as, like, I guess as far as enjoyment, like pure joy enjoyment, was probably Season 6 when Grian joined, and I found another really, really good friend in Grian, and he taught me a lot and inspired me a lot, and Season 6 was just such an insane season of so much awesomeness, and so many things that we as a group did for the very first time ever, and had so much incredible fun doing, and it was just, yeah, just some of the best times of my whole life was during that season. I loved it. So yeah. Question, are you planning to play MCC? Yes, I've already answered that one. Why are we not using diorite for foundations? Very valid question. Very valid question. We're starting with concrete, okay? Scab Inc. is a corporation that builds theme parks. And the way that Scab Inc. functions is that we find a bit of nature, we flatten it, we kill everything in the nature, and then we just pour concrete into it. And upon the concrete, perhaps we will build diorite roads or something like that. What are we building? We are building the foundations of Scab Castle in Scabland. Even Scabland has limits. Exactly. Exactly. Ice Pickle is here with the 6-month, half-a-year resub. Welcome back, Ice Pickle. No, we're running out of ice. Okay, we're fine. Question, have you ever met another hermit in real life? Yes. Okay, I'll change your question to which hermits have you met in real life? Ooh, I always forget some, but let me try. Okay, here we go. We'll start with the British hermits. I have met False Symmetry. That's it. From England. From Europe, I have met... Oh, no, and Stress Monster, of course, from England. From Europe, I have met Iskal85, Doc M77. Grian, of course, is also from England. I've also met Grian. I have also met Mumbo from England. We're still in England. Okay, let's start again. In England, Grian, Mumbo, Stress Monster, False Symmetry. I think that's it from England, yes. From Europe, Iskal85, Doc M77. And I think that's it from Europe. Corrales. I have met Corrales also. Yes, thank you for the reminder. I have met Corrales too. Yes. And I think that's it from Europe. From America, I have met Cub Fan. I have met Cub Fan? I think that's it. No, I've not met Zenaf yet. I've met Falsey a couple times, yes. I have not met... You know what? Cub is the only American... Nope. Cub is the only American hermit that I met. I was not invited to the Minecon where all the hermits went together. So I didn't get to meet the Americans. Unfortunately. Cub's the only one. What is your favorite alcoholic drink, if you drink any? I don't actually drink alcohol at all. I haven't done so for a very, very long time. But if I'm forced, I would say that an ice-cold Corona beer with a slice of lemon in it is, and a thick slice, a proper slice, is my my absolute favorite. It's what my dad always used to drink during summertime holidays, and always reminds me of him, and love it. By the way, guys, we have a brand new subscriber in the house here, Jack DCG, with the Prime sub. Jack, thank you for sharing your Prime sub with me. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Hanada's here also with 1,000 Bitterinos to the face hole. I know you talked about this one before, but I don't think you ever finished. What are your top 5 favorite music albums of all time? Hannah, thank you very, very much for the bits. I do appreciate it. You know, this is a question we were supposed to answer. What are my top 5 favorite albums? I started answering this question and we got really complicated with it, and I can't actually remember where we got to with the albums. I'm going to try and guess. I think it was something like number 5, Offspring Smash. So what are my top 5 records of all time? Offspring Smash. Reiter, hoe gaan het? Hoe gaan het, my boet? Hoe gaan het? Lekker. Lekker om jou te zien, né? I think 5 was Offspring Smash. 4 was 9 Inch Nails' Fragile 14. 3 was Deftones' White Pony. 2 was Tool Enema. And 1 was Tool Lateralis, but I believe I ran into trouble because I didn't want to put Tool twice on the list. And so there was a couple bands that I wanted to add also. So I think I wanted to combine Lateralis and Enema as number 1 record, and I wanted to add Dark Side of the Moon at number 2. I think that's how it ended up turning out. Something like that. Anne Penguin says, did you meet Scott? I have met Scott, yes. He is awesome. Awesome, awesome dude. Question, what happens when you go underwater, then put on your Frostwalker boots? I don't actually know. Let's experiment. Let's go underwater, put on the Frostwalker boots. Nothing happens. There you go. Question, have you watched IRL One Piece? What do you mean IRL One Piece? I'm confused. I started watching the pirate thing. What is it, on Netflix? I've started watching episode 1. What? Why is it IRL? What is IRL? What's IRL about it? There is live action. Wait, what do you mean? Is it recorded? Do you mean it's recorded live? I'm so confused. Do you mean by live action, it's like puppeteers and things like that? Oh, okay. So, okay. I see. I understand. So it's like instead of CGI, it's live action, like clay and stuff like that, right? Yeah, that's pretty awesome. That's super cool to hear. I got to the scene like where the first episode where the samurai has a fight, and that samurai was so cool. I was like, okay, this samurai is super awesome. Okay, so now I understand why there's so much hype about it. I remember seeing Martin on streaming the other day, anticipating watching One Piece. Very interesting. Okay, I did not realize that. That actually makes it even more awesome, actually. Oh, it is CGI, but the characters are humans. Okay, I understand. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Yeah, I think I might get into it. It didn't catch me right away, but now that I've learned more about it, I might watch more. Sounds pretty cool. Right, any more questions? Have you watched any anime? I used to watch quite a bit of anime when I was much younger, but I've stopped. I want to get back into it though, but the problem with anime, just like with a really good band, is there's so much content that it's really hard to even know where to begin. But to give you an idea of the kind of anime that I like, my favorite series ever is Ninja Scrolls. Well, I guess my favorite movie ever or whatever anime movie is Ninja Scrolls. My favorite series is probably Cowboy Bebop or Bleach. Both of those are like easily interchangeable for me. And actually, you know what? I'm going to retract my favorite anime movie of all time. My favorite anime movie is actually Vampire Hunter D, and Ninja Scrolls is second, I would say. And then Fist of the North Star is like third. But these are super old. So, you know, I probably missed out on like so much insanely awesome anime. And I'm just so nervous to get back into it because I don't even know where to start, you know. By the way, Hanana, thank you so much for the biddies. I hope that I answered your question there. What are my favorite records? Let's recap. Offspring Smash, because it was the first album that I ever bought with my own money, and not necessarily because it's musically good. Nine Inch Nails Fragile 14, because it was the first album that actually made me realize that music is amazing. Number 3 was Deftones White Pony, because Deftones White Pony defined who I was as a young person, and I just wanted to be Deftones, and I dressed like Deftones, and I was Deftones. I was what Deftones sounded like, basically. Number 2 is Dark Side of the Moon, because it is... We were talking about music being art. Dark Side of the Moon is audio art. It is unbelievable, impossible to explain. Like, when not everybody likes Dark Side of the Moon, and that's totally fine, but like when Dark Side of the Moon connects with your soul, it connects in a way that cannot be explained. It can only be experienced. And then number 1 would be Lateralis and Enema by Tool. So, there you go. What is Ninja Squirrels? Not squirrels, scrolls. Ninja Scrolls. Ninja Squirrels. Oh, that's funny. Mudvayne is pretty sweet too. I like Mudvayne too. Geonixus, thank you for the 33 months in a row. I loved all those bands, you know, Korn and Slipknot and all those bands, but there was many great records during that time. It's hard to choose the good ones, you know. I would watch Ninja Squirrels, JT, for sure. That sounds like a great anime. Vogel says, my dad was in a pretty big Floyd cover band. Wow, that is awesome. Are we done with the boat race? No, absolutely not. We've been working on the same project for so long. It's important every now and then to like switch things up a bit, you know, to keep yourself inspired and keep yourself enjoying making videos and content. And I felt like doing another little, not a little project, a pretty big project for the season. And I want to make Scabland. I mean, the ambition of Scabland is not, Scabland is not about like getting revenge or whatever. Wow, that vertigo. Sheesh. That tripped me out, man. It's not about revenge or whatever. That was just the excuse. What Scabland really is the minigame district of Season 9. I want to give the Hermits a place to make awesome minigames. And Scabland is like a really great excuse for it, so. Favorite season of Hermitcraft? I've already answered that one. Check that on the VOD. What's your go-to when you're having one of those days? Mine is Mudvayne, says Coffee Junkie. Probably Corn Issues when I'm having one of those days. Did you like the Dune movie? Yes, I loved it. I thought it was excellently done. The Dune novels are one of my favorite books, and Dune is one of my favorite stories. And I think they captured a lot of what I loved about the book, about the books in the movie very well. They kept it like really dark and you know what let me explain it this way. While I was reading Dune, I could always taste sand. Does that make sense for you guys who have read Dune or watched the movies? I could always taste the sand. I could always smell the spice in the air, you know? It was always there. Even when I used to play the Dune like RTS games, I could smell the spice, you know? And I think the movie captured that like amazingly well. It feels like you're choking on sand all the time in the film. And it's just so awesomely done. This pit is dangerous. Have I seen Good Omens? I gave Good Omens a go. It lost me, though. It was just a little too chaotic for me. What hermit inspires you the most? Already answered that one earlier on. Am I hyped about Decked Out? Absolutely. Cannot wait. Will you give another try on the Mobile Lisa? I would very much love to, I think. Let's see what Eskal's up to next season, and if he's up for it, I would love to try another Mobile Lisa with him. That would be so cool. Do you speak Afrikaans? Ja, ek kan 'n bietjie Afrikaans praat. Ek het 'n bietjie Afrikaans nog how would I say that? Ek het 'n bietjie Afrikaans alweer gepraat. Is that how I would say it, Afrikaans people? I don't know. I'm trying to say I already spoke some Afrikaans. Ek het 'n bietjie Afrikaans no, I don't know what the word for I'm trying to say I spoke a bit of Afrikaans earlier. I don't know how to do the past tense. I'm so sorry, Afrikaans people. My Afrikaans should be better. I'm embarrassed. I want to say ek het alweer 'n bietjie Afrikaans gepraat. Is dit reg? Verleerd het. Ek het no, I don't know how, you got to put that into a word for me. In Dutch would be ek heb al 'n bietjie Afrikaans gesproken. Ek het alweer 'n bietjie Afrikaans gepraat. Ek het 'n bietjie Afrikaans alweer gepraat. That's how I want to say it. I don't know. I don't know if there's any Afrikaans people in chat right now that can help me. Have I watched Andor? Yes, I very much enjoyed Andor. Very good. I knew it was alweer. It's not alweer is not the word. It's alreeds. Ek het alreeds Afrikaans gepraat. Dankie. Dankie the name. Sorry guys. I should only be speaking in English. What block would you like to use but don't use regularly? That's a cool question. That's a very cool question. I don't know. I have to think about that one. I use a ton of Deep Slate and all Deep Slate variants. Maybe Blackstone. Yeah, Blackstone. Haven't used Blackstone in a really long time. What are your client mods? Let's have a look at the mod list. We have Better F3, Bobby, Camera Utilities, Carpet, Cloth, Fabric, FreeCam, Item Swapper, although I don't think I use this. Lithium, mod menu, more culling. It's mostly like optimization mods. Replay mod, of course. Shulkerbox tooltip, simple voice mod, sodium, and Tweakeroo. Although I don't actually use Tweakeroo ever, so I don't know how to use it. All I know is if I push this button, I burn an entire stack of rockets. Which is going to look really weird in the replay now that I think about it. Whoops. Yes. We're not going to have enough stone, guys. Oh, we're going to be short by like a stack of stone. Oh, man. Oh, this is the worst. Sorry, everybody's ears. Sorry. I didn't realize it was going to be that loud. Have I listened to Lorna Shore? You know what? The first time I heard Lorna Shore, I was like, this is nonsense and absolute noise, and I don't like it. But every time I listen to Lorna Shore, I'm like, hang on, actually, this is quite good. I think Lorna Shore might become one of my favorite bands by the end of next year. It's a band that requires quite a lot of time, though. Like, it's not a band that you like the first time you hear it. The first time you hear it, you think it's like absolutely like repulsive. But like when you start to listen more, it grows on you. You know, it's weird, very weird band. My favorite band at the moment is Sleep Token. They're a young band, a young metal band that are just making music in a way that, I don't know, bands just haven't really made yet. I don't know, they have a very fresh sound to them in the metal world. And they're great. Like, the last Sleep Token album is like, it's not a Lateralis. There are tracks on it that I think are weak, but They are very, very close to making a perfect record. Like, Sleep Token are going to make a perfect record soon, where every track and the record as a whole is just perfection. It's coming. Favorite food? That's always a good one. My favorite food of all time is... Whoa! That's it, guys. Hold on, I'll answer that question in a second. We need to do some... So this is it. What we're going to do... For the replay, I want to fly in circles around it. So on the replay, it's going to look like we're really happy. Right? Whoops. We want to keep on flying, though. It's going to look like we're flying around in joy for completing this task. The camera will end, like, somewhere above. And we have to fly around a lot because we're going to speed this up by, like, 1,000. So we're going to look like a little fly or something, like, buzzing around. It's going to look pretty cool. British or US office? Easy. British. The first scab is done. Exactly. Yo, Weird Space. Can I use that for the title of the next episode? The first scab is done. That's the name of the next episode for sure. So yeah, guys, there we go. Well done, everybody. Or should I say well done, me. The replay mod's gonna... Or the time-lapse is gonna start here. Above the clouds. It's going to dodge a couple clouds as it goes down. You'll see Rendog going this way, cleaning up the terrain. And then you'll see us doing that, like, typewriter building. So and we'll probably, like, zoom over like this, and it'll end here. And you'll see little Rendog, like, flying back and forth over here. And then the episode will be somewhere like here, and it'll be something like... It's the next day in real life, Cyber Digging and Dogs last night on stream. Oh my goodness, we got down to some grindage, baby. You know what I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen, and everybody's in betweens are getting loud, babies. God. No, we won't be that enthusiastic, but we might be something like, it's the next day in real life, guys, and we have successfully ripped, or should I say, placed the first scab in Scabland. It is the foundations of Scabland Castle, and it is hideous. We have poured concrete into the heart of this natural area, and Scab Inc. has saved a bunch of revenue on construction bills, or something like that. Cut. It's a wrap. We need more rockets, people. Oh, we must stop recording too. Yes. Very nice. Very nice. Do you like Take Me Back to Eden? I do like Take Me Back to Eden. Yes. Yes, I think it's great. I think the record is like 90% amazing. There's just a couple of tracks that I feel are like pretty weak. But that's just my opinion. And that's what's great about music, right? Everybody's entitled to their opinion. By the way, where is our food box? Okay, hold on. Let's get some more golden carrots out here. There we go. All right. So, people, what do we do now? I honestly thought this was going to take longer to complete. How long did we do that in? That took an hour and a half. Wow. Okay. That time flew by, guys. Thank you so very much for all of the Q&A questions. I hope that you had a good time listening to me rant on about things and stuffs. But what do we do now? Rustbite is here. Hey, my friend. Rust's question is, why are you so awesome? Oh, Rush, you're making me blush. I'm in my underpants, dude. You can't tell me things like that when I'm just in my underpants, man. Jeez. What can we do now? We're going to claim a room and decked out? Definitely. Definitely. Let's play some server games. I want to do a decked out room in my episode, I think. We could go work on... we should probably work on the race course a little bit tonight. Yeah, let's go work on the race course a bit. The fact that I'm in my undies makes me awesome. No, it doesn't make me awesome. It just makes me hot. I'm overheating. It's like 27 degrees in my office with no aircon. I am sweating in places a man ain't supposed to be sweating. Oh, we could check the button. That's a good shout. Let's go check the button. Let's quickly check in on the button, people. Yep. That's the wrong one. Ow! Straight into the face. Solidarity sweaters. Yes. All of us in England right now are suffering. It's September. It's supposed to be cold now. Button Sag. We have not got the purple crown yet, I'm afraid. Gonna try get it soon though, hopefully. What is the strangest thing ever on stream? I don't know, ask JT. JT knows all the worst things that's ever happened on stream. I mean, one of the worst things that's ever happened on stream, I believe, was when I ender-pearled into the lava in the nether during Season 5 after like a... And if I'm not mistaken, JT, did we not just get a massive raid from Azuma or something of like 1,000 viewers or something? And then I ender-pearled into the lava lake? Yeah, that was bad. Lost all my gear. Like all my Season 5 gear just melted. Gone. That was bad. Alright, let's head to the tunnel. Let's go to the villages first, though. Oh, yes, the 20 minutes of... Huh? That was also quite strange, yes. That was very weird. That was a weird time on stream, too. That's on the YouTube VOD channel, so... if you're interested in figuring out what that's all about, go check it out. Rendog TV on YouTube. Right, let's get ourselves a little bit more quartz. Also, let's repair pickaxe and elytra while we're here. Miss Penguin, thank you so much for the raid, and welcome to all the penguins who have waddled into chat. Hello, penguins. I was also in undies when I ender-pearled into the... wait, was I in undies when I ender-pearled into the nether lake, or when I was making hers? Because if it was when I was hurting, that is very inappropriate, to be fair. That would have been highly inappropriate, for many reasons. I was in my normal skin, okay. I think it was when I hurt. Oh god, what have I done? What have I done? Mama, forgive me. Forgive me, my mama. I need to invest in clothes. I've got clothes. Thank you very much. It's just really hot. There's only so much you can do when you don't have air conditioning. The only thing you can do is remove layers of clothing. You can't take your skin off. Yeah, tomorrow's even hotter, by the way. So... Ren's foot slots nicely into his mouth. That is very true. I've got a fan, guys. The fan is on right now, but I have to put it outside the room so that it doesn't mess up the microphone. So I just get like a slight breeze upon my person. It feels pretty good though, because I'm not, you know, I'm in my undies. So the wind is definitely cooling me down. Which is good. Anyway, let's find ourselves some quartz, people. This is snow blocks. I think what we need to do... Is this quartz? Yeah. What we need to do is start stripifying the raceway that we've made. So, by the way, if you haven't watched the stream for a while, we've been working very hard on two major sections of the track. Firstly, the Blue Rock Tunnel, which is this. Last stream, I believe we actually finished putting in the barriers and connecting up to Ethos section. Either last stream or the stream before. So, Blue Rock Tunnel is now completed, which is really cool. We do need to, like, finish off the walls and stuff, though, at some point. Although, you know, it's actually kind of cool, like, just the way it is. I don't know. Maybe it doesn't need that much work. But we've... Do I have a bed with me? Why do I keep leaving beds behind? I'll show you what else we've done. Oh, look at the sun setting over Blue River Raceways, guys. This is beautiful. Look at that. Awesome. Let's take the bed with us, shall we? There we go. Yeah, so over the last couple of weeks, we've been working really hard on completing this section of track here. And I believe last stream we actually completed the track. We have one more block to place, which I'm going to ask Etho to do. You know, I think it'll be pretty cool if Etho comes and places the last block. There it is. That's the last block that needs to get placed. And that completes the Polar Bear Express. And we're on 32 chunk render here. So, major lag. Let's just sort that out. But as you can see, the barriers are just red all the way through here. We need to... Yeah, this is as far as we got last time. Here we go. So, we need to do every 5 blocks into quartz. So, that's the plan. And then make 5 blocks of white. Welcome to the actual grind of Hermitcraft, everybody. This is what you never see on camera because it takes forever and is not great footage. Very necessary though, because it's going to transform the track into something even more awesome. So yeah, I don't mind taking a couple more questions, but I do have to do some counting at the same time. So I might answer a little bit slower. That's going to be 3, 4, 5. Like, now we actually are crafting properly, so we do have to think a little bit. Question: how did you like Zombie Cleo's game? Oh, it was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. Has Cleo released the footage yet, by the way? Because I'd like to release my I'm just going to release my entire perspective, like the whole thing, just as a video. But I don't want to release it before Cleo puts her video out. Oh, she has? Awesome. Did you guys like it? How did you like it? Oh, Impulse released it also? Oh, it's... I'm not gonna... I don't want to give any spoilers for the people that haven't watched it yet. You gotta watch it, though. Man. I'm so annoyed. Like, if you have watched it, don't spoil, please, in chat. But I'm so annoyed. Those of you guys who have watched it, like, I have a reason to be annoyed, right? Nobody listened to me. I nailed it also. I nailed it. Like 100% devastating nailed. Like I headshotted it, man. 360 no-scoped it. Nobody listened to me. Oh, man. No more spoilers. No more spoilers. That's all you get. Let's just say it was a really great game. It was awesome. I had so much fun. Cleo did such a great job. It's such a difficult thing to translate into Minecraft. And when we first started playing, when we first got there, I could just see the confusion in my fellow Hermit's Minecraft characters. I could see that some of them, including myself, had no idea what was going on. And poor Azuma was like, had absolutely no idea what was going on. But then as we started playing, it started to make sense, you know? And one of my favorite moments is actually way in the beginning. This doesn't give any spoilers whatsoever. But one of my favorite moments in the game is my first interaction with Joe, where I don't really know what's happening and I don't understand how the game works. So I'm talking absolute nonsense to Joe. Like nonsense. And Joe is so confused. I'm talking about stuff that I've found in my house. Like trying to figure out clues from like items around the town. And Joe like knows how to play the game. And he's just looking at me like I've lost my mind. It was so funny. It was a great game, though. It was very, very stressful, though, I must say. Looks like Doc M's chilling with us this evening, guys. Big shout out to my my buddy Doc. He's hanging out with us this very fine evening. We were talking about you earlier, Doc. And we were talking about all the hermits that I've met in real life. Ooh, do you guys want to know, like, how I met Doc? I always love telling this story. A lot of you know this story, but a lot of you are new here also. So I can tell you the story of how I met Doc M77, one of the Minecrafters that I used to watch when I was a very small YouTube channel. Big inspiration to me, and someone who's become a very good friend of mine ever since then. So many years ago, I believe this was before I was in Hermitcraft. Yes, I was on a server called Kingdomcraft with Iskal. Well, what have I done here? And others. Wait, hold on. Let me figure this out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And Iskal got invited to play in an Nvidia tournament in Cologne, Germany. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, this is going to be so hard to tell and build. However, at the time, something came up for Iskal and he couldn't make it to the tournament. And so he said to me, do you want to take my place in this tournament in Cologne? And I was like, definitely, man. That sounds absolutely amazing. It was like a really weird esports tournament where YouTubers got invited from all over the world to compete in like a medley of different games. So we played everything from like Dota to Goat Simulator to like Forza, like racing. It was Nvidia, right? An Nvidia tournament. So it we were showcasing like the Nvidia cards, you know. And I can't remember what the prize. I think the prizes went to charity. I can't remember the details. Anyway, so you know, I was quite lucky to even go to this tournament because I was just put into the Swedish team as Iskal's replacement. And in the Swedish team was a couple of Swedes that I met that were absolutely awesome. I, for the first time, met in my life a beautiful human being called Andersel from Sweden, who Doc knows very, very well too. And Anders very quickly became one of my favorite humans ever. He is very unique and such an awesome person, and really, really, well, he made his name on Counter-Strike. So Counter-Strike was one of the events that we played, and Andersel just dominated, except for the round. And bear in mind, Andersel was like basically a Counter-Strike professional. And there was a round where we were playing Andersel, and we were playing a round, and I was in a room in Counter-Strike. Andersel came into the room, and I just killed him with a shotgun. I just destroyed him, and I just heard him scream. I think he even swore. He was like, "F sake, Ren! Why you kill me, you noob?" It was bad. It was bad. But I also played. There was another Swede in our team who was. Her name was. I lost touch with her, but her name was Foxy something. Those of you guys who are back there, can you remember? It was Foxy something. She was like a young streamer. She was actually one of the first Twitch streamers that was starting to come up in those days. But she was also really, really great, and she was a really good gamer too. Like, I was the weakest in the team, basically. I was the weak link. Oh no, did I miscount somewhere? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, I did. I've miscounted so bad also. Oh, you hate to see it. Anyway, how did I meet Doc then at this tournament? Well, Doc was also invited to this tournament, and Doc was playing, of course, for the German team. And Nvidia had put us all up in the same hotel together. And, well, not all in the same hotel, but, like, I think most of us were in the same hotel. And when I got to the hotel, a taxi picked up a bunch of us from the airport and then took us to that hotel. When I got there, got out the taxi, everybody else went into the hotel. I hadn't really, like, it was kind of an awkward taxi drive because none of us really knew each other. We were from different countries, you know. We were all YouTubers and streamers and stuff from different countries. So we didn't really know each other. So they, like, the rest of the people from the taxi just, like, went into the hotel, and I got my suitcase and started walking to the hotel. And there, leaning against the glass wall of the hotel, like the hotel had this massive glass wall that looked into the lobby, was a ridiculously tall, very good-looking German fella, wearing a hat, of course, with a bunch of, like, festival armbands or, like, armbands from, like, conventions, I guess, on his, just looking like basically the coolest cat that I'd ever seen. I was like, oh my god, I know this person. This is Doc. And at the time, like, I was a pretty small channel. I was maybe, like, I don't know, 50,000 subs or something. And Doc was, like, in the millions. So I was immediately, like, quite intimidated and quite starstruck, you know? Because this is somebody that I'd been watching for a really long time. Plus, he was massive, insanely handsome, and, like, super cool. I was, like, just this nerd, like, this Minecraft nerd, you know? Anyway, I just, like, decided to not be a loser and just go and say hello. And so I just went straight up to him and said, hey, are you Doc? And he said yes. And we immediately just, like, had a chat and kicked it off. And he was so nice and so friendly and so epic. And it just felt like I already knew him, you know? And we were just talking about the tournament and all that sort of thing. And, like, we just started hanging out, like, during the tournament, like, during rounds, we would just go outside and, like, hang out together. We'd eat together and stuff. And then on the last night of the event, Doc said to me, yo, do you want to go out? Like, let's go celebrate. Like, NVIDIA, like, rented out a club in Cologne and also secured the VIP section of the club for us. So when we got to this club, you know, Doc said, yo, shall we go out to this club? And I was like, yeah, man, cool, whatever, let's go. Let's go and celebrate, you know, this achievement. Because it was actually a really awesome event. It was super cool. It's one of the first, like, big live stream events that was done by a company, you know, like a corporation or whatever. So we all got into a taxi, like, went to this club. It was like a massive dance club. VIP section was completely booked out for us. It was insane. It was so cool. It was disco balls everywhere and, you know, free alcohol everywhere, and we had a really great time. I basically chilled with Doc, like, for most of the night. We were just hanging out, learning more about each other. We just got on really well and had a lot in common and just could talk to each other really easily. So Anderzel was there also, but I don't know if Doc is still watching, but maybe Doc can confirm. I believe Anderzel went home early. Right, Doc? Do you remember? At one point, Anderzel was like, oh, I have a headache. I want to go sleep. I think Anderzel, like, went... it was true? Okay, Doc's watching. Yeah, it was true. Anderzel went home early. Hilarious. Also, by the way, everybody, if you've never met Anderzel in real life or seen him, he is a monster of a man. Anderzel is, like, 6'6". He must weigh 150 kilos. He's not, like, obese. He's just massive. He's like a Swedish lumberjack. Like, when you see this person, you think this is the kind of person that could, like, destroy an entire trench in a war on his own. But he is the softest man on the face of the earth. Like, if there is a car outside that's too noisy, Anderzel has to go have a nap. He's such a wuss. But in a, you know, in a great way. So anyway, Andazal went home early. So we were all sitting on the oh no, I did 3 red somewhere. Sorry guys, it's very hard to tell the story and concentrate on this at the same time. It was like Doc and I and Andazal and a couple of the other players there in the VIP. We were just having some drinks and chatting and stuff and having a great time. And then Andazal left, and then a couple of the other guys wanted to go to a different club, and we didn't really feel like that. It wasn't a club that we really wanted to go to for other reasons. So I said to Doc, yo, Doc, why don't we just stay here and like finish this bottle we have here and have a good time, and yeah, we'll just get a taxi back to the hotel afterwards. By the way, I have to tell the full story because Doc's in chat right now. He won't let me get away with like not telling you guys a full story. So this is full story. The story's been told before. It's on the internet, so it's fine. With us at the table was the NVIDIA person that got us this gig in the first place. The top dog from NVIDIA. The kind of person that you want to be friends with so that they could offer you more jobs. You know, like invite you to the next NVIDIA event, for example. Give you free NVIDIA cards when they come out, GeForces, you know, that sort of thing. This is the kind of person that you want to impress and befriend. Doc is very, very good at this. Doc is can basically be friends with anybody and can very easily impress people. I, on the other hand, am not that great at it. And I think that night I may have overcompensated just a little bit because the story I'm about to tell you now gets quite bad. So, it's Doc, myself, the NVIDIA rep, in the VIP lounge. Everybody else is gone. There's a couple bottles of liquor on the table. And I, as the person that's trying to impress both Doc, one of my heroes, and a potential new NVIDIA rep, says the following. Hey guys, let's do some shots. Doc, do you remember this, or is this blurred for you at this stage? I was like, guys, let's do some shots. Doc's like, yeah, dude, bring it on. The NVIDIA guy is like, oh, I think I've had enough for now. But you guys can have some, and I'll sort out a taxi for all of us to go back together when we're ready to go home. So I'm like, all right, Doc, shall we have some shots? Doc's like, yeah, dude. I'm 6'6". Like, you know how many shots I have to take before I even feel anything? I'll have shots with you. At this point, I was mildly panicking because I don't drink that much and have a very low threshold. But I was trying to be hard. I was trying to show Doc that I was cool. So I was like, all right, let's go. We had 1 shot. We had 2 shots. We had 3 shots. And then, when we should have had no more shots, I put Doc's manhood to the test and said, Doc, do you think you can take 1 more? Doc said, of course, dude. I said, you were supposed to say no. He said, don't be a wuss. Pour the drink. I poured the drink. We had the shot. And then, very shortly afterwards, Doc clapped his hands and said, we're going to the dance floor. Now, bear in mind, Doc is a large human being, people. Okay? You're talking about a 6'6", 6'7" man. The guy's a beast. But when Doc ends up on a dance floor, you have never seen anything like it before. He is a Michael Jackson. Unbelievable dancer. For his size and weight, he moves in the most agile way. It's almost like it's magic. It's almost like it's CGI, dudes. It's outrageous. I can never explain to you what it looks like seeing such a massive human being dance so well. I was absolutely flabbergasted. I was speechless. I couldn't believe it. Doc like flew out of that VIP lounge like he was on ice. He like moonwalked across the VIP lounge onto the dance floor in one smooth move, you know? It was that kind of thing. And I got up from the VIP and left to go and look at the dance floor, and I just saw Doc busting moves in the most insane way. people had like made a circle around him, like the people that were left there. Which, by the way, Doc, can you remember, was just the unsavory types, if you know what I'm saying. I believe you, as a German, clued me into exactly what sort of unsavory types that they were. But we shan't get into details because this is a family-friendly stream. Anyway, there was a circle made around Doc, and Doc was just busting the moves. It was unbelievable. I mean, it was just... I will never forget it. It is a memory that is seared into my mind. A good memory. It was wonderful. Anyway, you know, after a while, I was sitting at a table like next to the dance floor, just watching. After a while, Doc came back to me. He's like, okay, dude, I'm done. There's only unsavory types left here, and we need to get out of here before things will start to get serious in this club. Only Doc and other Germans know what I'm talking about right now. So we found the NVIDIA guy, and we were like, all right, we want to go home. So NVIDIA guy got a taxi for us all, and we started, we were standing outside waiting for the taxi to come. This is actually a point in the story where I could, if I wanted to, throw Doc M under the bus right now. But, and Doc, if you are watching, I hope that you take note that I, as your good friend, as a good human being, am not going to throw you under the bus at this point in the story. I am going to omit a certain activity that you may or may not have allegedly done next in the storyline. We will not talk about it because I'm a good friend. Unlike Doc M77, who had every opportunity in front of hermits, in front of streams, in front of anybody who will listen, will tell me, or will tell what I did at the end of this horrendous night. Yes, Doc. Yes. You remember this, my friend. You remember what I do for you. Okay? You remember. Doc claiming ignorance in chat, like he doesn't know what I'm talking about. You know. You know. You know very well. But the secret will go with me to my grave, sir. You know why? Because I'm a good friend. You know? I'm a good friend. What goes on tour stays on tour, Doc. Huh? What do you think about that? Anyway, we were waiting for our taxi. And the taxi arrived, and it was a pretty tight squeeze. In the back of the taxi was me, was Doc, and was the NVIDIA rep. I'm not a small person, you know. I'm a pretty large guy. I'm almost 6 foot and quite chunky. Have a South African farmer's build. And I believe the NVIDIA chap was like quite a big German fellow also. So it was a tight squeeze in the back of the Doc, I'll tell you after the stream, and then you will remember. It was a tight squeeze in the back of that taxi, guys, let me tell you. Like, there was not a lot of room, not a lot of personal space. Let's just put it that way, okay? Let's say legs, arms, shoulders, everything was touching. We were pressing each other very firmly up against the sides of the taxi. It was a very small taxi. Taxi driver was driving like a maniac, and somebody in the taxi, I don't want to implicate at this point, but let's just say that somebody in the back of the taxi, it was me. It was me. Started to feel a bit sick. Listen. To this day, I maintain it had nothing to do with the alcohol, okay? I can hold my liquor, okay? I'm a man. It was the taxi driver who was driving like a maniac. And I even remember someone in the taxi asking the driver to slow down. Anyway, there came a moment in time where I felt like, whoops, I'm going to be sick. And yes, I was in the middle. I was in the middle because I was the smallest of the two. So I was in the middle. I felt this you know, when you're about to be sick, you can feel it coming, right? Like, you can just feel it coming. But I thought to myself, you know what? I'm a man. I've been through this kind of situation before, you know? I had a lot of fun in my university days. I can handle these moments. I've been through many of these moments. But in the moment that I tried to hold back the feeling of the sick, we were stopped at a traffic light. And as the traffic light went green, the taxi driver smashed the gas so hard that the G-force of the taxi going forward, let's just say the contents of my stomach evacuated at a rapid pace. I did, however, have the foreknowledge to know that I needed to do something about this. And so I actually lifted my shirt and made like a bowl. And I was sick into this bowl of my shirt. And I caught everything. And I didn't mess in the taxi or on Doc or the NVIDIA guy. And luckily it was only a few minutes to go until the hotel. And, you know, they wound down the windows, and I was just so embarrassed. It's actually the worst moment of my life. By the way, it's the worst moment of my life. Conversation completely stopped in the traffic, in the taxi. You know, it was dead silence. Me just holding a t-shirt full of puke, and the smell of half a bottle of whatever we were drinking, and my lunch for that whatever lunch I had that day. That was the most awkward 2 minutes in a taxi that I've ever had. And I think Doc can agree on this one. Oh, it gets worse, though. It does get worse. We got to the hotel. And by the way, Doc would tell me later on, I think the next day, that I was lucky that I didn't get my face smashed in. Because in Cologne, taxi drivers have a zero tolerance policy to people that are drunk and get sick in their taxis. Like, they will take you out the taxi and punch your face if you do that. And I don't know, like, maybe Doc talked the driver out of it. I assume that that they told the driver that, you know, I was foreign and I, you know, or something like that. I hope so anyway. But yeah, it gets worse because we got to the hotel. We all got out of the taxi. And the NVIDIA rep was staying in a different hotel. So he was going to get back into the taxi that smelt like my sick. Which you hate to see it, really. You know, you hate to see it. But as I got out of the car, I, you know, walked away from the taxi and went onto the sidewalk and tried to clean myself up a bit. And, you know, like, you know, yeah. Just push everything off me and whatever and try and clean myself up a little bit. And by this stage, I'd like sobered up a bit, you know. The NVIDIA rep like climbed out of the taxi to say goodbye to us. And so what did I do? In my mind, I was like, oh man, I need to apologize to this man. I walked up to him and I said, I'm so sorry about that. That was so embarrassing. You know, this isn't my usual behavior. I'm mortified. I'm so sorry. And he put his hand out to shake my hand to say that it was okay. And as I took his hand, I pulled him in to me for a hug, and I hugged him in my sick, soaked shirt. And Doc just looked on in horror from the sidewalk. And I think was unable to actually figure out what was going on right in this moment. And yeah, I never got a call from NVIDIA again. I have never got an email from NVIDIA ever again. And I never heard from that particular NVIDIA rep ever again. And that concludes How I Met Doc. A novella by Rendog. What have we learned, kids? Don't show off when you meet people that you think are cooler than you. Showing off will always result in sadness. Just be yourself. You don't have to show off. Your heroes are just human beings also. This is the lesson that I learned from from that particular encounter. Know your limits. Yes. Know your limits is a very, very good bit of advice too. So this kind of answers the question why I don't drink very much. Yes. I've had some odd experiences in my time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Anyway, I don't even know how we got onto that, but like I say, I started the story and Doc would have finished it, so I had to go all the way. My apologies to any of you ladies out there, you beautiful ladies who may have thought that Rendog was squeaky clean and never did anything wrong in his life. I got some dirt on me. It's okay. We all do. Yeah, also never try and drink a German under the table. That was a lesson that I learned. I learned something about the Germans that day. Like, don't mess with the Germans. You know? You're never going to beat them in a drinking competition. It's not going to happen. Oh, man. What a tale. What a tale. Anyway, you know what, dudes? I think we might end the stream there because it has just gone 10 p.m. and I would like to get some decent sleep tonight. I have an exciting day tomorrow. I can't tell you about it, though. But I'm going to have a really good day tomorrow, and I'm very excited. So I want to get some good sleep. By the way, Dragon Slave Fire, thank you very much for the Prime brand new subscription 20 minutes ago. Completely missed that one. Kishi also with a 2-month resub. Thank you. And Galaxia Lin with a 3 months in a row. Thank you so very, very much. Everybody for all the resubs, all the biddies tonight, all the gifteds. Oh, wow. I am so sorry, Kosh. I did not even see that. I am, wow. Dudes, we need to take a very, very quick moment to acknowledge an insane sub bomb that came through earlier this evening from Kosh. 50 gifted subs. You know what? I don't even think that showed up on the notification machine. I think it was a delay because I remember shouting out like Maythax and Masuki. I think it might, yeah, I don't, oh, I'm an idiot and I just missed it. Kosh, I'm so very sorry if you're still watching. Thank you so much. 50 gifted subs is just outrageous. Kosh went to bed? Oh, jeez. Okay. Wow. Okay. Even Joe is helping me out saying thank you. Oh, man. I'm going to have to send Kosh a message on Discord for that one. I completely missed it. That was very rude of me. But much appreciated, Kosh, if you're watching the VOD. And I will send him a message on Discord now, I think. Very, very generous. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. And I hope you enjoyed the episode of How I Met Doc. Oh, God. Horrible story. But lessons to be learned from it, guys, okay? Don't be a Rendog. Don't do stupid stuff like Ren. Be smart when you do things like that, okay? Anyway, I think that's going to do it, friends. We are going to... I'm going to have a quick look if there's anybody from the Hermitcraft server that we can raid. Any of you Hermits playing? Hypno's up to modded if you want to go check that out. You know what? I'm just going to let you guys do whatever you want, okay? You can make your own choices, all right? Don't let me make choices for you because you'll end up in a taxi with Doc and an NVIDIA rep and it won't be good. Thank you for watching, everybody. I love your faces. We see you again real soon, okay? And look after yourselves. And thanks, mods, for looking after the chat as always. Love your faces. Thanks, Patreons. Thanks, viewers. Thanks, Doc. Bye, guys.